practice 6. We were able to get some live situational work, which was good, some third down work, which we need, especially on defense. We're starting to feel the wear and tear of being midway through camp, so dealing with some bumps and bruises that are that'll just nothing long term right now, but just things that'll keep guys out practice to practice. But on the whole, pleased with where we're headed, and I guess I wouldn't expect to feel any other way right now, but good spirited day, and we'll have a lighter day Thursday to set up a scrimmage day Saturday, but right now we're focused on recovery and trying to get as many guys healthy as we can to practice on Thursday.
Yeah, are you getting anyone back for the scrimmage?
It just depends on how we respond this week and what some of the prognosis is coming. A couple of guys got banged up today. We have a couple of hamstrings strains that may not be severe, but may limit guys' ability to participate maybe for a couple of weeks. I'm hoping to get some guys like Zaylen Wood back involved. He was able to do some of practice today. Corday Sidnor was doing individual today. So we're starting to see some of those guys that were longer term come back. But I won't know until probably, honestly, Friday to see who we get back for Saturday.
Clark, when you take a long look at last season, obviously a lot of positive momentum, a lot of steps. But where do you feel like the next step is for the program? And how is that applied to what you're doing out here?
Well, obviously you want to continue to chase progress, and we measure progress daily on our process, but certainly we're looking for more in the way of results. We understand too that you're talking about 4 losses last year that averaged out 4.25 points, and you're talking about 4 wins last year that averaged out 6.75 points. So 8 games decided within 1 possession. That's, I think I started talking about this when I first got the margins are razor thin, but that's exactly what we're staring down. So what we do is we focus on us, how we improve, again, looking to improve third down defense, looking to improve our run game through the tailback on offense, explosive plays on offense. Those things to me are gonna allow us to hopefully build a little more into those margins. That's progress to us, and if we're dedicated and disciplined enough in our process with the runway we have to the season, we'll line up in the summer with a better team, in fall camp with a better team, and we'll be prepared to play at a higher level in the fall. And we'll play against a bunch of good teams too, so we'll measure our highest level against them, but we have an opportunity right now with the retention of staff and the retention of team to build upon the results, and that means we have to be super focused on the areas that we want to improve upon and actually chase football performance.
What do you make of Bryson Hall?
I've seen him develop at the point of attack over the course of spring. I think today he had a couple of nice catches, and we know what his potential is. I think the word for him is consistency. He's still building his frame out a little bit, but we expect him to be able to help us win games. And I'm seeing the progress, and I think as is typical in the spring, we'll go through and, after the spring game, we'll look back and kind of measure the distance we've covered, but it seems to me like day in, day out, I see him working on the things he needs to improve upon to help us win.
Was that retention easier this year?
It's hard to say. Certainly there is an internal sense of progress. I think we've always had some internal sense of connection to the mission and what we're building here. Retaining the right people becomes the message of 2023 to 2024. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes there is an element of loss being gained, and that is not to say anything about anyone who's left this program, but it's just to say that the specific mission we're on, not everyone's meant for it. So for us, obviously, there were plenty of people that were interested in coming back and taking the progress we made and moving it forward and taking it further with the coaching staff too. I think everyone's excited about the opportunity, and I think what we're inspired by or energized by, we tend to seek to be a part of it a little longer. So long-winded, but yeah, it was a lot of those conversations were easy with players and coaches. There are still transactional elements to that, and that's where we got to continue to step up, as Vanderbilt football and facilitate an experience where no one in this program is compromising.
Was Diego a big part of that? Just having kind of your guy to kind of, I don't want to say recruit guys back, but kind of rally and knowing that he would be here?
He was a part of it for sure. I mean, you can't deny the impact he has on our team. I want to say that if we weren't able to bring him back for whatever reasons, there was still this kind of internal sense of momentum and ground covered. But when you bring your quarterback back, when there's such a belief in him and he builds so much into the DNA of who you are, I mean, everyone pays attention to that. So beyond the guys that are here and coming back, I think it also appeals to people that are outside the program looking to come in.
What do you think of your early enrollees, other than George just got back, but maybe the other three?
Really impressed, and I want to, I guess, to not fall in the trap of setting expectations too high. I mean, Carson, Caden, and Van, all three have come in and had the right approach. You want to talk about also like what bowl practice does and having a bowl game does. I mean, all those guys were with us in that time and were able to experience that. So it's almost like you forget that they're early enrollees. They've all three made big plays for us. And so I couldn't be more impressed with them and what they're bringing. And at this point, you look for, say, these guys can help us win this year. I mean, there's no reason to think they can't. Install will get bigger. Their body and mind will be taxed with the endurance run of this, but they've been ready to contribute, and we're excited about where they're headed.
For the transfers that have come in for the spring, which ones of them, have you kind of seen standing out?
Well, I mean, I think it's obviously when you any player that comes in on the offensive line and is running with your first group is going to stand out, and so like Isaiah has been a big part. We're excited about Bryce. He's been banged up. He's got to come along. Keanu was with us in bowl prep. I mean, one of our points of focus is how do we shorten the down defensively. We got to generate pass rushers, the four-man rush. Keanu is going to help us do that. You can see flashes of that in just his raw ability. I've been impressed with his mindset too. But all these guys that come in, I mean, there's a reason they're here. A lot of times it hasn't gone perfectly at their previous school. They're looking for opportunity, but they also have to experience some kind of change for themselves too. And so, we are using this time to try to create winning habits, create winning attitude, to really pull them into our environment, and hopefully by the fall they're all ready to help us, win games.